Former Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonio Carpio is urging ASEAN nations that possess claims over the South China Sea to take a common stand against Beijing. Carpio also wants the ASEAN bloc to declare the Spratlys as a marine protected area in order to prohibit any form of militarization in the region. Marlene Alcaide with the story.
Leaders of Southeast Asian countries will be gathering in Bangkok starting Thursday, October 31st for the 35th ASEAN Summit. And for newly retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, the summit is a perfect opportunity for the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei and Indonesia to take a common stand against China over the South China Sea. The 5 ASEAN countries have standing territorial claims over the resource-rich sea, while China has been asserting its 9-dash line, which covers almost all of the South China Sea. The 9-dash line has been invalidated by the UN Arbitral Tribunal in 2016 through a case lodged by Manila. Carpio is also urging the 5 countries to condemn China's militarization in the contested waters.
The 5 ASEAN member states can formalize their informal understanding by signing a convention that among them, their territorial disputes in the Spratlys shall be settled peacefully through negotiation. What constitute gray zone tactics should be clearly defined in the convention. This will isolate China as the only disputant state resorting to gray zone tactics and refusing to maintain the status quo.
Carpio said the convention may also call for the declaration of the Spratly Islands as an international marine protected area, which prohibits the presence of any military facility.
Only civilian facilities should be allowed in Spratlys, and the existing military facilities can be converted into marine research or tourism facilities. China will be the #1 beneficiary of such a convention because China now takes more than 50% of the annual fish catch in the South China Sea.
Carpio is also urging ASEAN nations to come up with a code that has no ambiguity and will not supersede the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS in any way. Carpio said the code of conduct should not legitimize China's activities in the area.
It should not legitimize the artificial island building by China on low-tide features and the severe damage to the marine ecosystem that China's island building has caused. The code should not be a vehicle to allow China to recover what it had already lost under the arbitral ruling in the South China arbitration at The Hague.
Malacanang has confirmed that the territorial dispute will be discussed during the summit. The palace says ASEAN countries will continue working on a code of conduct on the South China Sea, a document that Beijing wants to be signed by 2022. But it adds that talks on the proposed code of conduct may not be intensive.
It will be discussed there, and then I think we could expect the countries to give their positions. But as to intensive negotiations, we don't expect that to happen in this meeting, in these kinds of meetings.
For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.